All right, all right, all right, all right. We are going live in 5 and 4, 3 and 2, 1. Yo, yo, yo. Tell me what you know. Welcome to the Sunshine Show. Woo! Going live today. I have a very, 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 very special guest for you guys. I have the one and only, the most phenomenal, the most fabulous, the most Bowie of them all. I have Christian Twigg, known for his work with N.E.R.D and SPYMOB in the house. What's up, Christian?
Yo, 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 tell me who you see. It's the amazing Sunshine and little old me, TWIGG.
Yes. Oh my God, you guys, we're going to have a fun time today. It is a special 420 early bird edition of the Sunshine Show. You guys have heard and seen Christian a lot more than you guys know. And we're about to talk all about it today. And we are going to have so much fun. Christian, tell us a little bit about yourself for those that may not be familiar with you.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Well, my name is Christian Twigg, and I played in a Minneapolis band called SPYMOB. And this is, we're talking about 20 years ago. And we were based out of Minneapolis, and it turns out that Pharrell Williams was a big fan of our band. How crazy is that, right?
I love that.
And so Pharrell signed our band to his label, and we went on to become his backing band on N.E.R.D's first record, In Search Of, turning 20 this year. And yeah, super cool. And so yeah, we toured with him for I want to say 2001 to about 2005. So that was cool.
Awesome.
Lots of, yeah, man, just a short, I guess, little backstory on that.
Dude, I've been spending my morning and actually last night just kind of living vicariously through you. And I mean, I knew you did the bass for N.E.R.D, and I should have been prepared, but I was not fucking prepared for what I was about to see, because I too love the stage, and I too love to perform, and me watching you with your bass and just like your moves and going to the front of the stage and like dancing with Pharrell, I was like, oh my holy shit, dude, you must have had so much fun.
It was crazy, man. It was an unbelievable experience. So we had so much fun, man. And we just wanted to bring a ton of energy to the stage, and getting to perform in front of thousands of people on a daily basis was just so inspiring. Yeah, man, it was just the coolest thing ever. It was so much fun.
Oh my God. So how did Pharrell find you guys?
Well, from what I understand, he found us just through connections in the music business. The record industry was looking at SPYMOB, and this was actually before I was even in the band. SPYMOB was signed to Epic Records. So there was a lot of buzz going on in the music industry about SPYMOB, and they ended up getting signed by Epic Records. And I think that was in about 1998, I want to say.
Okay.
So Pharrell got wind of SPYMOB, and SPYMOB ended up getting dropped by Epic Records. And that's when Pharrell came in, and we got a call just from our lawyer. Short story here, but Pharrell's lawyer and our lawyer were the same.
Okay.
And we had no idea who Pharrell Williams was, but we got a call one day and said, hey, this hip hop producer wants to sign your band. And we were like, great, let's go. So turns out it was Pharrell Williams. And so we had some, we got schooled on what was going on with Pharrell and all the things that he had been a part of and what he was doing, which was pretty amazing.
Oh my God, I can't wait to talk all about it. I want to say, hey, what's up to the people in the chat really quick, because we've got a lot of people here.
Yeah, man, let's talk to the people.
Let's talk to all the people.
Let's let the people be heard.
We got Don McDaniel, Jennifer Espinosa, Michelle Richards. We got Jessica Harper. We got Lindsay, Leave Arrow. We got the whole fam bam in the house. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you have any questions for Christian about his tour life with Pharrell or anything else, please drop them in the comments. We will get to them as soon as possible. This is going to be a wild ride today, my folks. Okay, so his lawyer calls your lawyer. The lawyers are the same person, okay, right?
Correct. We had the same lawyer.
How do you even prepare yourself like for getting on stage with a superstar like Pharrell? Like, what in the fuck? Like, how do you even prepare yourself for? Did you fanboy at all? Like, what was the deal?
Okay, well, it's all right. Here's what's happened, man. So Pharrell, he wanted to sign us to his label, and so he was like, well, hey, how about if I take SPYMOB and I re-record the In Search of record using them as my live band. So they did a European release with In Search of, where it was all just like synths and sequencing and all that kind of stuff, right? And so then his idea was, well, I want to sign you guys. I want to promote your band by having you on my record. So he flew us out to Virginia Beach, where he was based, and we hung out there for a couple of weeks and re-recorded that record. And so it was kind of a slow process. We got to meet him. We got to hang out with him for a little bit. Super cool dude. Loved what we did. He was just, man, he just let us rock his record, man. It was nuts,
Oh my God.
So then we started rehearsing because we'd get a show. So we got a show, and so now to your question was, did I like freak out getting on stage with Pharrell? And the answer is not at all.
What?
Let me tell you why though, because we had been playing our instruments for our whole lives, right? Or at least for me, since I was a teenager. And, Pharrell actually didn't have as much, say, like live performance experience. So, man, when we got up on stage, we were just ready to go. We were ready to rock. And Pharrell was just so great because he just let us go, man. He just let us go crazy.
Dude, Rockstar was like my anthem when it came out. Like, dude, put it on repeat, replay. I mean, the whole fucking album was genius. There's just something about meshing the rock and like the rap vibe, and that together forms this unity of like strength and empowerment. And oh my God, dude, like I swear they don't make music like that anymore.
Okay, so this is a cool conversation, man, because check this out. If you think back in the early 2000s, there was a lot of rap rock going on.
Yeah.
But if you listen to In Search of, totally different. And I don't know how do you explain it, because I don't know what it was like, Limp Bizkit. Who else was doing it back then?
You guys, who else was doing it back there? And drop it in the comments.
Yeah, drop it. I mean, because
too much before we came on.
So yeah, that whole rap rock thing was going on, but this was different, man. This was different.
Is Kid Rock considered? He doesn't really rap, right? He's just rock.
Yeah, no, I would put him in that category, that rap rock category for sure.
Oh, David Cootie, Papa Roach.
Papa Roach, see, there we go.
There we go.
Yep. And this was cool too, because this was different. This wasn't a bunch of like white rock guys doing rap. It was an international superstar hip hop producer hiring a white band and rocking out. Dude. It was killer. It was crazy.
Like all the like electronica sounds, or like the electronic sounds, and like it was just so different. The synths and everything that was going on, it was so different than what anyone else was doing, or that anybody else has really done. I feel like it's just like in a category of it in and of itself.
Agreed. And if you actually listen back to those sounds, they are very typical of the Neptunes. So if people don't know the Neptunes, it's, you know, Chad and Pharrell, their, you know, use of those sounds back in the early 2000s, they're all over that record.
Yeah.
So when you look back, you're kind of like, oh yeah, the sounds, you know, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. David Cootie also says Linkin Park
Linkin Park.
Jay-Z made it mainstream.
Who made it mainstream?
Linkin Park / Jay-Z made it mainstream.
Yeah. Yep. Right on.
Absolutely, 100%. It was just a different time back then, Christian. I don't know. I don't mean to get nostalgic on everybody, but it's true. And if you haven't listened to that album in a while, I recommend you go back and re-listen to it again.
Yeah, you know, and part of my excitement for, you know, being able to hang out with you and do some interviews about this is, you know, is getting some new people turned on to that record. That first N.E.R.D record, I would love to get some new people listening to that, man.
Oh my God. I mean, and then, okay, the coolest thing too, one of the coolest things about all this was that when I went back to listen to Rockstar and I'm looking at the video, there you are in the fucking video that, you know, I'm like, what is going on, dude? You are like the epitome of cool. I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah.
What was that like? Tell me, what was it like filming that video?
Okay, so now there was a couple of experiences that we did have back in the day that were kind of trippy. You know, like it's just like one of these moments where you're showing up for work, but you gotta like pinch yourself because of what's happening around you and who's there. You know, so anytime that we were playing shows on the road, wherever we were, you never know who was going to show up. So being on that set was crazy because you got Randy Quaid, okay? And then, I mean, cats from Cypress Hill are showing up. I mean, Beyonce was there.
Beyonce was there?
Beyonce was there.
What?
Who else? I mean, when I watched that video, when you posted that video and I watched it again after not seeing it for years, yeah, I could not believe, I just couldn't remember and how many people were just hanging out and in that video. And yeah, that was a crazy time, man. That was trippy. Like sometimes you just gotta slap yourself and just like, is this really freaking happening right now?
Dude, what the fuck? So, okay. Oh, sorry, turn your ringer off before you go live, Sonny.
Is that your mom? Is
no,
mom calling?
Actually, my mom is in the chat right now. Hi, Mom. I love you so much. Thank you for hanging out with us.
What's up, Mom?
Okay, so you must have become pretty good friends with the guys from N.E.R.D, which his name was Chad, right? It's Pharrell and Chad.
Pharrell and Chad and Shay.
And Shay, okay. So did you guys like? I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like you guys were having such a fun time and on stage. Like, what was the dynamic between you guys? Did you get to like have input on the songs at all, or were you just mainly playing their music?
Yeah, so when we re-recorded the first album, that's In Search of record, basically we essentially just re-recorded their parts, okay, with an exception of a couple of things that, like our guitar player Brent Paschke, by the way, who's still Pharrell's guitar player.
Really?
Yep, and so he still plays with Pharrell. And so we added a couple of things here and there, but really mostly we just recorded what was already laid out for us.
Okay.
When it came to, so then we pretty much just replicated what we did on the record, except we got to put a little extra juice on it. Pharrell never told us to do one thing or not to do anything. He just let us go with it. And what you see in those videos is just the way it was. And yeah, so, you know, in the beginning we hung out a lot. It changed over time though. I mean, Pharrell kept rising and rising as this huge star. So things evolved. And so we started seeing him less. We started traveling with him a little bit less, but you know, to be expected given everything that he was up to.
Sure.
What he was up to was nuts, man. So you know, we would be like on the bus, sound checking, and on his bus, he's got Jennifer Lopez on his bus because he turned his bus into a studio. So he's recording tracks with Jennifer Lopez. He'd be in multiple studios each day.
All over the place.
All over the place, nonstop.
Wow. What a time to be alive though. Like how, I don't want to say lucky because obviously you worked really hard to get to where you were, but my God, how lucky and amazing, and what a time to be alive.
Yeah, I do feel really lucky because I personally, I feel like I only really got to that place really because I had just gotten into SPYMOB about a year earlier, and they were a very well-established band in Minneapolis. So I felt like I jumped on to SPYMOB, and a year later we're recording with Pharrell Williams. But you know, again, you have to take it with a grain of salt here a little bit, because at that point we didn't know who Pharrell was. You know what I mean? Which is hilarious to think about, right? Because now he's just everywhere, right? So yeah, man, it was wild. And we all kind of like, in a way, we all kind of grew up together on that stage, man, rocking out.
Oh my God. When I was, and I'm sorry, I'm totally fangirling. I try not to do this, but this is a really special day and you're really special. Like, I didn't realize how, like, you were a part of me growing up, like that album, that music, like, holy shit, dude. Like, what?
Yeah, man. That's cool.
Okay, so I was like watching the videos and like you played like the MTV like music awards and you're on the stage with Justin Timberlake and Khalees and like all these fucking crazy famous people playing these huge ass festivals for thousands and thousands of people. Like what were some of your favorite opportunities that you were able to get out of that experience?
All right, so one of the biggest ones that really jumps out at me was when we opened for the Red Hot Chili Peppers in Scotland. I mean, okay. Okay, that by itself was just crazy, right? So we're playing in front of, I don't even know how many tens of thousands of people. I want to, off the top of my head, I want to say it was something like 80,000 people were at that show. It was at this outdoor arena in Scotland. And we're playing our set, okay? And I'm doing my thing, rocking out. I look over to the side of the stage, and who do I see? Take a guess.
Flea?
Fucking Flea.
Dude.
Speechless. So Flea's kicking it on the side of the stage, watching me. I damn near shit myself.
Oh my God.
That was crazy for me as a bass player because, you know, like what you were saying, like I grew up, you know, in high school, I got Mother's Milk on a tape cassette and I lost my shit because he was just fucking freaking out on the damn bass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then now he's here looking at me playing. And it was just such a huge moment for me. I wanted to get down on my knees and bow to the master.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, dude. I love Flea. I've seen them a few times. I got to see Red Hot Chili Peppers at Will Ferrell's quinceañera in LA, which was a lot of fun.
Crazy.
And I always wanted to start an all-girl Red Hot Chili Pepper cover band called Mother's Milk.
Oh, that absolutely. Hello.
Why hasn't it been already?
Get on that, will ya?
I'm going to. I gotta manifest it. Let's see. My mom says it's 12 down here. She's in Texas. Is it time for coffee? It's always time for coffee.
Cheers, Mom.
Cheers, Mama.
Cheers.
Woo!
But yeah, there was definitely some other moments that, you know, that were really fun. Like the first time, so we talked about Justin Timberlake. He ended up showing up to and being on the stage with us so many times I can't even count, but I think it was probably the first time that happened. That was really cool because we were playing an after party for a Yoshi Yamamoto fashion show he was doing a thing with Adidas, and we had this big fashion show. And we heard Justin Timberlake was going to come to the show, and he had just finished recording Justified with Pharrell, which, by the way, little sub, one of our first rehearsals, we pull up to the studio, we load in our gear to rehearse for our first tour, and guess who's in the live room? Damn Justin Timberlake. JT's there. We were like, we just walked in and we're just like, oh, JT, what's up? Trying to be cool, but it was kind of like, we're just this little rock band from Minneapolis. What is happening right now? So anyway, we found out JT's coming to the show. And so we were like, somebody go get a record at the record store. We listened to some tracks and we learned some tracks from the Justified album. And then Justin came up with us and we did some tunes with him. And then after that, man, he came up on the stage with us and he sang and played the whole N.E.R.D set with us. And he was singing word for word.
Wow.
Yeah, man. And I remember one really great compliment he gave us, which I'm really proud of. He was like, man, you guys are only 4 people in this band. You sound like Earth, Wind, and Fire. He's like, he was like, I can't remember, man. He said something like, you guys are only 4 guys and you sound amazing. And my band is like 20 guys or something, like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I can't remember. It was awesome.
Dude, I was just watching the video and it was either Lap Dance or Rockstar, and it was like just like an anthem, and everybody like was on stage with you guys. I don't know if it was Lil Wayne. Did Lil Wayne get out there at some point with you guys?
I don't remember Lil Wayne coming out. I think you might.
will.i.am.
It was will.i.am because we were on tour with the Black Eyed Peas.
What?
Yeah, oh man, yeah. Yep, we were on tour with the Black Eyed Peas, so we played all over the world with those guys.
Wow. Do you have like a favorite tour story with the Black Eyed Peas or N.E.R.D that you can share with us?
Tour stories with Black Eyed Peas. Not so much with the Black Eyed Peas, man. They were very kind of to themselves, So even though we were traveling around, it was a festival. So to be fair, it wasn't just us and Black Eyed Peas. We were a part of, a huge show with many acts, you know what I mean? And so
you didn't get Fergalicious with it.
We hung out a little bit, not a lot though. But Fergie's awesome, man. She brought it. Those guys really brought it, man. Their energy and their performance was outstanding.
I never got to see them live, but just their songs,
their show was crazy, man. They did it.
So phenomenal. So we have Frank Lawrence in the chat. What's up, Frank? Thanks for hanging out. He said, how did you record with N.E.R.D? Did they have basic tracks and your band jammed over that? Question mark. Great question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, they had the original album, and I think what we did was we staggered most of what we did. So like we laid down drums first, and we would just put the drums on top of what was already there. And then I think they took out maybe the electronic drum kit and they put in the live drum kit that Eric Fawcett, he's the SPYMOB drummer, amazing musician and drummer. He really killed that performance on those on that record. And then so we layered it. Yeah, I remember, because it was like 20 years ago, so it's hard to remember that far back. But I remember doing the drums first, and then I think we did the bass and then some guitar, and so yeah, we just layered it.
Wow.
That's what I remember. Maybe we did some stuff live. It might have been different per song. I don't know. I can't remember, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I can't even remember yesterday sometimes. So good.
Right on. Right on.
How did you get into the bass? Why the bass?
Well, so bass. Okay, so I started getting into music when I was about 15. And so I was listening to like Metallica, heavy metal, Slayer, and I had a buddy who was in a band, and they were looking for a singer. And he was like, hey man, we're looking for a singer. Would you be interested? I'm like, I've never sung in my life before, but I dig what you're doing. And so let's give it a try. I went and did like an audition, and I was awful. I was terrible, still terrible singer. so the bass player, he was my buddy, and he was like, hey man, you know what would really help you understand music a little bit better about like rhythm and pitches and just all the things would be to play an instrument. So he had an extra bass laying around, and he gave me a little lesson, and I've been playing ever since. I was hooked immediately. So
I see you have, excuse me, a 4-string behind you, but I believe in the videos you were playing a 5-string, weren't you? Or was it?
No, actually I played, so check this out. Here, this is the bass, my 73 P Bass.
Oh, nice.
This is the bass that I played on the N.E.R.D record. And on some of those links that you shared on that post, you can see me playing that bass. Apparently though, I changed the pick guard, and I don't know why I did that, because so I put the tortoise shell on it, and I saw that video, and I had the black pickup, the pickup guard.
How funny.
Pick guard, and I'm like, hey man, I want that black pick guard back on there. What am I doing? I gotta find that. And then, oh, sorry, but I started playing 5-string within the last 5 years. And that's now really my main instrument, I would say, is the 5-string.
Okay. And Fender P Bass is your bass of choice?
Okay, so I, about 5 years ago, well, I should just back up a little bit. After the N.E.R.D thing, I kind of retired. I played in and out of a couple of little bands, but I had 2 kids and got back into playing, say, 5 years ago. And I was playing with some funk R&B guys. And so I got into playing jazz basses. So I have a Fender this is my 5-string Fender jazz bass.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
And you know what I want to do? So I'm getting all the black hardware. I'm going to put some black lollipops on there eventually. Right now they're chrome, but I'm going to change that too. Anyway, so I got into playing some jazz basses, but now, I'll tell you about this project that we're maybe doing in a little bit, but this new band that I got into is kind of more of a rock band. And so now I want to get back to my roots, and I got to find me a 5-string P bass. I'm definitely going to go back to the P bass, man.
Nice.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I don't want to skip over SPYMOB, because as we had talked earlier before we went live, this album is fucking genius. And I don't know how I didn't hear about it earlier. It's very unique. I can't really fit it into a box as far as genre wise. And it's funny because all the reviews on Amazon, just nothing but great reviews on SPYMOB. How did you guys get together, and how did you guys sort of slip through the cracks? Like, how did this album not fucking like make it huge?
Well, how much time do you have, Sunshine? You're kind of opening up a can here.
I got all the time in the world.
Okay, so SPYMOB had been together in the early to mid 90s, and I actually went to school with the guitar player, and I've mentioned him earlier. Who is still playing with Pharrell, Brent Paschke. Check him out. He's actually coming out with some cool shit on YouTube for guitar lessons, man. Can't wait. So we went to music school together, and so I would, of course, he was a good buddy of mine, and his band SPYMOB got signed to Epic Records. They recorded a record, they had it in the can, getting ready to release the record, and they got dropped the last minute by the head of the label. And so we would just be in touch with each other, and I don't remember how it went down. I think he gave me a call and was like, I was just like, how's it going, man? Like, you guys gonna release the record? What's happening? And he's like, we got dropped. from the record label, and we lost our bass player. And I was like, that's terrible. When's my audition? I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Can I play?
Why would a band be dropped from a label like that last minute?
Well, that's a great question. Can we revisit that question? Don't forget your question, because we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Because it's a good question. And I'll get back to that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So SPYMOB gets dropped. I join the band. They have this record in the can. And a year later, we went back into the shed. We were just rehearsing and writing and recording for a year. And then the lawyer calls and says, hey, we got this hip hop producer who's interested in signing you guys once he starts his own label. And so we were like, great. Okay. So Pharrell wanted to just take that record and just release that record on his label. So he was shopping around the record industry, and he landed on, it was Arista Records. So Star Trek was the name of the label. Yeah. Star Trek became a subsidiary label on Arista. And at the time, L.A. Reid, if you remember L.A. Reid, he was ahead of Arista at the time.
Okay.
So Pharrell's thought was, let's have you back me up with N.E.R.D, and then we're going to launch the SPYMOB career, right? We're going to launch you on my new label. So Arista sat on our record for a year and a half, right? Nothing was happening, and we didn't know why, and we couldn't get any answers. One day our manager called us and said, okay, guys, Arista's ready. Strap on your boots. We're going to do a 6-month prep and just get this album ready and do all the press and all the things. So get this ready for a national release. So we go through 6 months. And so our manager calls us one day and says, like, okay, you guys, get ready, strap on your boots. We're going to radio on Tuesday or something like that. Okay, so we listen to the radio, waiting for our big, release. No song on the radio Tuesday, no song on the radio Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And then we get the call from our manager. L.A. Reid decided to drop you guys from the label. So we were like, totally got the carpet pulled out from under us. We were like, dang. And Pharrell was pissed.
Wow.
He was so mad. He was like, I got basically started this label with Arista knowing that SPYMOB was my band.
Yeah. And
in the last minute, he dropped us. Okay. So now to answer your question, why would a label drop a band after 2 years and potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars of promo, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So here you go.
Take a sip of water first.
Wait for it. All I can do is speculate. I have no idea why L.A. Reid dropped us, but I can tell you one thing. If a record label head doesn't believe that you are going to make millions and millions and millions of dollars, it's not going to happen. So I think for whatever reason, L.A. Reid just got cold feet and he decided to pull the plug.
Wow.
Now that's just my speculation. I have no idea. And I also speculate that he was really interested in Pharrell and just having Pharrell's label on his label. And I don't know that he was that interested in SPYMOB. I don't know. I'm just saying what I think. And my other bandmates might have some different perspectives or whatever, but that's just what I think.
Wow.
That's just what I think happened.
To next level. You guys were just too much for them to wrap their minds around.
Well, you know what I think happened? I think shit happens behind the scenes in the music business. there's like a band will come by and the music business gets their attention. And this was before like YouTube, so so nobody had heard of SPYMOB except for people in the music industry. And in the music industry, people were very interested in SPYMOB. Originally, there was a huge bidding war between 6, 7 different labels. There's this underground swelling of interest in SPYMOB in the music business. And then, they landed a deal, and then people start to make kind of shifts in the music industry about where music is going.
Sure.
Right. So when you say, we heard this a lot, when you say, I listened to that record and it was amazing, but I don't really know what category to put it in. I think a lot of people had that issue. If you listen to that song, the songwriting, so John Osby, the singer songwriter of SPYMOB's incredible musician, wrote amazing songs. If you listen to that record, you're like, this is all just so amazing, but where do you put that? We are just slightly off center, which I think was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I put it in the space rock category.
Space rock. I can get behind that. Yeah, man. And I thought, like, had SPYMOB been released and done a national, or an international major label release, it could have shifted the way people listen to popular music. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have Lindsay Twigg in the chat. She says, "What's
Lindsay,
up, Uncle?"
Yo, that's my niece. Linz, come on. What's happening, girl? Thanks for jumping on. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love when family and friends come in support. And you got your niece. I got my mama in the chat. That's what's up. It is a good day today, you guys.
Awesome. I'm so happy to be here. This is so fun.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So I was checking out the reviews, like I was telling you, and it was funny because they had you guys categorized under power pop. And I never heard that before. And I thought, well, that's powerful, right? Power pop. What do you think about that genre or being labeled as that?
Yeah, labels are a funny thing, man. And I think they're helpful to a certain point, and then they're harmful to a certain point. So I think that we were a pop band. I would agree with that much. But I would think that our influences were more like Steely Dan. And and would you say that Steely Dan was a pop band? I don't know. Like, back then, or Todd Rundgren was also a big influence on John Osby's songwriting. So Steely Dan and Todd Rundgren, and they were in like mainstream music, but I don't know if you would call that pop. But we definitely, I think our album had that production in mind, is to be very poppy, even though the songwriting wasn't mainstream. Does that make sense?
Sure. No, absolutely.
Am I talking crazy?
No, you are talking just the way a bass player would talk. Lindsay sends her love, says she loves you. Woo, woo.
Love you too, Linz.
Woo, woo. Jennifer says she loves Steely Dan. There was a band. What the heck is his? Ben Folds 5. Do you remember?
Ben Folds, sure. Yep, absolutely.
The key parts on SPYMOB reminded me a lot of the key parts on if I had to like do a comparison kind of thing.
We got that comparison a lot. And I think that was probably, probably more accurate than saying that we're a power pop band. You know what I mean? But the Ben Folds 5, that was cool, man, because he was doing, I felt like he was a great person to have in the industry, because I felt like it would help a band like ours, so.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what happened to SPYMOB after you guys stopped being the N.E.R.D backing band. Is that an accurate statement to make?
Yeah. So what happened was we got dropped from Arista, and Pharrell obviously was really upset, and he was like, you guys, just try to stick with me. We're gonna find a new label. We'll get through it, man. We'll, whatever, just stick with me. But after all that had happened, we were like, man, what do we do here? This is a really challenging position for us to be in, because we have the biggest producer, arguably the biggest producer in the world at that time, and we couldn't push that record through. We ended up getting an offer from another label, Ruthless Records, of all, Eazy-E's old label, Ruthless Records, signed our band. So we decided, or wanted to sign our band, we decided to try to release that record. So basically our biggest goal was we gotta release that record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we wanted that to get out there. So we signed on with Ruthless Records. And basically, once Ruthless released that record, it basically died on the shelf, because 6 months earlier, the Arista did all the promotion. There was all the reviews, all the magazines and whatever had done reviews, blah blah blah. So when it came time to release that record, nobody would touch it. It had already been reviewed, it had already been done, and so the release happened and nobody knew it.
How frustrating, Christian! Frustrating.
Yeah, man.
Station.
I feel you.
Okay.
I feel you.
Well, I know you said that you didn't read any of the reviews from Amazon, so I'm not going to sit here and read these whole huge paragraphs, but I just want to give you the titles of these reviews because they're pretty epic. The first one is Gateway Drug. Second one, a candidate for Record of the Year. Third one, nice to hear something different. Fourth one, one of 2004's best. Next one, long overdue, but what sweet justice for a rockin' band. And then the next one, a rare find. And then there's one in Japanese that when it's translated to English, I don't really make sense of it, but you guys have fans all over the world.
Yeah, in Japan, we actually had a #1 hit in Japan, which was hilarious because on the charts, it was like SPYMOB #1 and U2, and I mean, it was like, what? it's just crazy. Yeah, so that's cool to hear, man. That's cool to hear that stuff, because you forget.
Yeah. The song 2040, I did listen to it a few times last night, and then of course I listened to it again today, and it just seems so fucking familiar. It seems so familiar, like I had heard it before, like in a past lifetime or some shit. Like it grows on you. It's such good material, and you guys
thanks.
re-release it or do something like really fucking cool with it, because more people need to hear this.
Unfortunately, I kind of feel like we have to wait till 2040 for that song to break. Let's just say this, okay? 2039, okay? New Year's Eve, SPYMOB will get back together and all will be amazing. Yeah, so, yeah, we actually, after a certain period of time, we were able to get our masters back from the record label. And we did re-release that record. So that record is available on iTunes.
Oh, perfect.
So
you guys make sure to check it out. Everybody that's watching, everybody's out listening at home, you guys have to check out SPYMOB. Holy cow, it will blow your fucking mind.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, so I gotta say now, one of the things that I was super excited about coming on is not only to talk about SPYMOB and N.E.R.D and all those things that we did, but also what I'm doing now.
Yes, please.
So check this out. I'm in this freaking crazy ass, awesome, amazing band called the Devin Worley Band. Okay. So she is an incredible singer. We are just about to drop a single from a record that they recorded last year before I got in the band.
Okay.
And we just recorded a Led Zeppelin cover, which I am so pumped about. You gotta just wait till you hear this track, man, we just crushed this Led Zeppelin song. So cool. So we are getting ready to do some dates around the country this summer, as hopefully as things start to open back up.
Awesome.
So yeah, I got to get people to come and check out Devin Worley, man.
What kind of
good
music
stuff.
are you guys throwing down? Sorry.
Say what?
What kind of music?
It's like rock with a little country flavor.
Ooh!
But it's rock, man. It's rocking.
How fun. And are you still located in how do you say it? Minneapolis?
Minneapolis, yes. Minneapolis, Minnesota, home of Prince. Rest in peace.
Gotta love Prince.
Right? But yeah, man, a lot of crazy shit's happening in Minneapolis right now. You know, so.
Let's see. Joseph is asking, how do you spell it? How do we spell the name of your new band that you're playing with?
Oh, yeah. So Devon.
Devon, okay.
That's Devin. Yep. Worley, Worley.
Wait,
Ley.
Okay.
The Devin Worley band. So you can, on all any platform you listen to music on, you can find it on iTunes or wherever you want to check it out.
Yeah, super cool. I will definitely check it out. I love Texas country. I'm from Texas originally, and I love Willie Nelson, and I love all the outlaw country. And of course, my brother listened to like Garth Brooks and like all like Brooks and Dunn and all that kind of country too. So I love me some country. Definitely love me some rock. So hell yeah, dude. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you, Jenny Phillips, for putting that in the comments. I appreciate you.
Oh, what did Jenny say?
She put the Devin Worley band in the comments.
Oh, put a link up. That's awesome. Thanks, Jenny.
Scott Anderson says Twigg is the shit.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, Scott's an old buddy of mine. He came out to see some of our shows when I played with Pharrell. I remember having him on the bus, kicking it.
How fun. And we have Mike Biardi, my favorite bass player ever.
Yeah, Mikey B, what's up, buddy? Thanks for jumping on.
Hell yeah, you guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us. So we have a question. Tim Fisher would like to know, Christian Twigg, did you tour with N.E.R.D on the Glow in the Dark Cayenne tour in 2008? If so, my cousin was on tour with you. His name is Matthew Santos, and he toured with Lupe Fiasco on the same tour.
That is not correct. We were on the road with Pharrell, with SPYMOB and N.E.R.D until 2005.
Oh, okay.
So I missed that.
Oh, damn it. Just by
damn.
Let's see, we got Jakita A. Morris. He definitely is. I love him playing behind me. Is this a bandmate?
Yeah, so I've been playing around a little bit in Minneapolis, and so I played with her on a couple of occasions, actually. So yeah, right on. Thanks for coming on, girl. Yeah.
You got the whole fam in the house, Christian.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
We got, okay, sorry if I butchered this name. Slawarmid Psyche, Haya from Belfast.
All right.
Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you have any questions for Christian, drop them in the comments. We're almost going on an hour, so we'll start wrapping it up here in about 15 minutes. But I would love to answer any questions that you guys have. Let's see, we got Jessica Mark Fort. Hey, cousin, love you and miss you.
Right on. What up, cuz?
God, you got a big ass family, Christian.
Oh man, you know, my parents were divorced and remarried, and I got step brothers and I got half brothers and stepsisters, and I got family everywhere, man.
Wow.
It's good. Nice. And all super good people.
Oh yeah. So tell me, do you have a favorite show that you played? Because I see all these different festival stages and all these huge ass crowds. Is there like one particular show that you could pick out of all of them that you could say was like your absolute favorite?
Well, I mean, man, going back to that Chili Peppers one, that Chili Peppers one was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I mean, incredible. But I will say this though, because we also played a lot of television. So we were on like the Letterman show 3 times. We did.
How cool is that?
We did the Ellen show. We did Regis and Kelly, and we did Jay Leno. I mean, we did Jimmy Kimmel. We did all those shows. Okay, so the one that stood out though, say like with the TV, was Saturday Night Live. When we did Saturday Night Live.
You played Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, man.
Dude, that's fucking epic.
Now, SNL was crazy, man. SNL was crazy because you're backstage walking around and, you know, like people are just, the cast is just hanging, you know, they're just hanging out. So it's just like, this is just one of those experiences where you just got to like pinch yourself and just go, what the hell is happening right now? You know? So check this out. On Saturday Night Live, we're doing our sound check. And I look out into the studio and Lorne Michaels is just hanging out, chatting with somebody. So, you know, you got the lights on you, right? So it's kind of hard to see out. The studio is super dark. You got those, you know, bright lights blaring at you. So I'm kind of squinting and I see Lorne Michaels out there with some, like, who is that guy? Oh shit, that's Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger's having a conversation with Lorne Michaels, just like, I don't know, 25 feet away from, you know? It's just, it's crazy, man. And that was the episode that Ben Affleck was on. Remember that whole thing with Ben Affleck and J-Lo, like the Benifer, what did they call it? Like, did they call the couple, like they called them Benifer?
Yeah, Jennifer, I believe. Yeah, was there like a scandal around that episode?
Well, I think there was, you know how the media goes. I mean, like when somebody like Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez gets together, they just have, there's a media frenzy around it. So I don't remember if it was a scandal, but I just remember it was because I think maybe they had just broken up or something like that.
Okay.
So it was kind of a big episode because I believe it was right after they had broken up. So that was funny and crazy to be a part of.
Oh my God. So my mom always tells me that once I played on Saturday Night Live that I've made it big, and she's in the chat right now and she's like, see, I told you.
Yeah, that was kind of one of those moments where I'm like, just like, wow, yeah, we're really doing it, man. You know?
Let's see. Lindsay says that you're pretty boss at playing Rock Band, that you guys had some really great moments.
Right on.
Oh man, are you a Rock Band champ?
I mean, I haven't played Rock Band now in a while, but yeah, man, that was fun. You know, when I play Rock Band, you know what I like to do? I like to play drums, man. Like, I am definitely a wannabe drummer.
So, can you play the drums though? Like on a real kit, can you play them?
I could. Define play. I'm just kidding, man. Yeah, I mean, I could play a little bit, you know, I mean, a little bit, but I would love, that's something, you know, someday, man, I would love to spend some more time and really learn how to play better.
Dude, everybody that comes on here, they either want to be a drummer or the key, either want to like wish they could play drums or that they would have like continued like with the keys. Like that's like the two main instruments that everybody always says.
Well, that's interesting, you know, because if you think about bass covers, in a way, covers like everything, right? Because it is like every bass player is a drummer, but you're producing a musical note. So you got harmony, you got rhythm. I mean, bass is hands down like the best instrument. So like, I'm glad I'm a bass player. To the end of my days, I am so proud to play bass, man. It's just, it is the coolest thing ever.
Hell yeah. And I can tell that you love playing the bass just by your like stage presence, and like you're very proud, like you hold a really good demeanor. I love the way you present yourself on stage.
You know, thanks, man. I appreciate that because, you know, like I feel like I was more of a performer than I ever was a musician. So for me to be able to really get out there and just like go have fun, go rock out in front of thousands of people was just a dream come true for me. But man, I tell you what, I really felt like that's just kind of how music affects me. You know, that record, that In Search of record, it just, there's so much energy and juice behind that stuff, man. It was such a cool time. And I was just letting it out, you know? I was just feeling it.
Dude, I'm telling you, you were a huge part of my youth growing up when that song came out. And I had no idea until, like, you know, we got in contact and I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked you up and then I'm seeing video after video and these songs that I just played on repeat. I'm like, what the fuck? Of course you've entered my world. That's how small the world actually is.
Yeah, man. And the web nets, you know, how cool is this that we get to do this now? You grew up listening to N.E.R.D. and I got to play on that record. And here we are hanging out together. I mean, it's crazy, man.
Oh my God, it's so fucking cool. Okay, so Richard Stevens says, you look so clean cut. Are you training for an Ironman and playing?
Richard, what's up, buddy? So when I took some time off after the music thing, I got deep into some triathlon, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You just went all the way for it.
I went for it. I mean, I never did a full Ironman, but I did half Ironmans. And so, yeah, I got into that whole deal. And I think really is because mainly, man, I was just kind of filling this gap that, you know, when I wasn't playing music anymore, I had to work that out. I had some shit to go through.
So tell us a little bit about that, because I've seen pictures of you in like ice water or like frozen lakes, or what are you doing exactly to yourself, Christian? What is this torture?
Well, most people have heard of Wim Hof.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I lost your picture.
Oh, I know.
Still there?
I'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so most people have heard of Wim Hof. And have you heard of Wim Hof?
I sure haven't.
They call him the Iceman. But he's an incredible human being, man. He does cold exposure basically, and the effects of cold exposure that the body adapts and has a lot of, I mean, it's just countless benefits, health benefits of cold exposure. So that's what I'm doing.
So what are the health benefits of this cold exposure besides almost dying of hypothermia?
See, that's the thing you got to understand, man. People have been freezing their ass off for millions of years. You know what I mean? And now we live in a time where if you're hot, well, you just turn on the AC. If you're cold, you turn on the heat. But our bodies are meant to be exposed to all sorts of different extremes of weather. And so I feel like actually we are getting so comfortable with, you know, just all the modern conveniences that our bodies are no longer adapting. So cold exposure, I mean, man, there's just so many benefits like circulation, and it increases your immunity. What a great time to boost your immune system, right? With the virus floating around, right? So yeah, circulation, and it helps your body convert stored fat into energy. All sorts of, the list goes on and on. You know, got to get on the Googles, man, and check it out.
Get on the Googles, everybody. Wow.
You find yourself in Minnesota in the wintertime, and I'll take you to a lake and we chop a hole in the ice and then we just jump in and hang out.
Hell no. Hell no.
Come on.
Hell to the no, dude. I can't even get into the water here at Santa Cruz, and I think it's like probably like 50 degrees or some shit, but like even that's too cold for me. I'm like, ah!
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
But I suppose that's like a part of like pushing yourself, right? To be like the best version of yourself that you can be.
Always striving, man, you know?
Wow, it seems like it. So what's next for Mr. Christian Twigg besides I know that you're playing with what was her name again?
Devin Worley.
Devin Worley. Is there any like SPYMOB? Do you guys still like talk or write music or?
Well, because of In Search of turning 20 years old, we had a guy have a couple of us on a podcast.
Okay.
I think it's called The Others. Stephen Penny. He's from Finland, I believe. Nice, great guy. He had Brent and Eric, the drummer and guitar player from SPYMOB, on a podcast recently that he'll be putting that out. So yeah, some people are, interested in hearing about our connection to N.E.R.D. So we actually got together. We hadn't seen each other, all of us together in one room in, 15 years. And just this past fall, we all got together. Yeah. So yeah, so people have been talking about like, well, man, SPYMOB and Pharrell have to have a reunion and do an N.E.R.D thing. So there's some talk about that, but
Are you
whether
kidding me?
well, there's some talk about it, but who knows if it would ever happen.
We gotta manifest it. We gotta make it happen, Christian. Manifest it, put it in the universe.
All right, man. Well, hey, if Pharrell ever sees this interview, like, let's make it happen, brother. Let's get it to it. People would freak the hell out.
Oh my God, it'd be amazing. But I do not want to take away from Devin Worley and this new project that you're doing as well. I'm super uber.
Yeah.
What's that? I don't know what super uber is, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Super uber excited to see this project too, because I'm sure it's just as wonderful, and you put just as much of your soul into every project that you did back then.
Yeah, man, I gotta tell you, getting involved with the Devin Worley band has like saved me, man. I'm like, because I haven't played, I've been playing around Minneapolis, but nothing, just kind of I'm doing a lot of sub work, like bass players need a sub, so they give me a call. I did a little bit of that around town, but feeling like I'm actually in a band again and creating, and man, I just can't tell you. I'm so excited about this band. This band is amazing. Everybody in it, the guitar player just is a rock god. The drummer is insane. He's a beast. And Devin, man, just wait. I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. I am so excited. So yeah, so that's where my focus is right now. It's all about the Devin Worley band, man. Just let's making it happen.
Let's see.
Making it happen.
Rory Thomas O'Neill says, I think Sunshine got started on 420 early. Looking good, Twig. You are correct, Rory.
Yeah, Rory. 420, man. We're celebrating.
We are absolutely celebrating. I cannot think of a better way to start my day than right here, right now with you and all of you at home. Oh my God, we've had such a fun hour, Christian. How did it pass by so fast?
It's been great, man. Thank you so much for having me on. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you. I like to ask all my guests for like the best piece of advice that they have either in life or as a musician or whatever you got, the best piece of advice that you could share with us.
Ah, very good. Well, man, through my experience, I have learned a lot, and I've had some really big ups, some really big moments, that we've been all talking about. I've had some big downs, getting dropped from record labels and stuff like that. When you put everything in your heart, guts, your blood, sweat, and tears into playing music, and then it gets taken away from you, or it feels like it's getting, that can be a very devastating thing to go through and grieve. And it took me a long time. But so my advice would be to always, you got to remember to peel back the layers and the noise and remember what's important. So in my own journey, I have been able to get back to the point and remember what was important for me. And that is just to be learning more about music, learning more about my instrument, and just staying inspired with other artists, listening to other people play. Like, what a great time with the internet and seeing all these awesome bass players coming up. It's just amazing, right? So you gotta just, no matter what the music industry or no matter what happens, you have to separate that from your true inspiration or your true calling. And you gotta focus on that, and you gotta just stick with it.
Hell yeah. I love that advice. I'm going to put it down in my book of advice. I love collecting them.
Yeah.
really does help me, and I think it helps everybody at home. So thank you for sharing that with us. And thank you all for putting your advice in the comments. Let's see. Don't ever let yourself down. Keep looking up and keep on going. Believe in yourself, and never let yesterday stop you from what you can do today, and stay focused on what you're trying to achieve. Well said.
Dang.
You guys are fucking rocking and rolling. Thank you all for your time today. Thank you, Christian, for your time today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Everybody at home, make sure to go and follow Christian Twigg for all the things, for the Devon Worley Band, for SPYMOB, the 20th anniversary of the N.E.R.D. Remind me the name of the album?
In Search of.
In Search of 20-year anniversary. Yo, what up?
Yeah, go check out that record, man.
So good. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up tonight. I am going live with Sons of Paradise to continue the 420 party. And until then, you guys keep smiling, stay safe, be kind, and keep rocking and rolling. I'll talk to you next time, Christian. Let's stay in touch, brother.
All right, man, you got it.
All right, man.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.